Good morning, guys. Hello, 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 hello. I hope you're doing fine. I'm coming from work, guys. From work, and I was like, I haven't done a video in like forever. Today, I am very, 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 very tired. I had a long day at work. I have not sat down in so many hours. I went in at 6. I normally get in work at 6:30. I like to go early. I'm an early bird. So I'm tired, but I want to do this video. It's a Christmas Eve video. We're almost to Christmas. And first of all, I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas. A very, very, very Merry Christmas. I'm praying for you guys. And I'm wishing you all the best. So my name is Charity Nganga. If you're new on this channel, this is Charity's Baba USA, your #1 channel. And I live here in the USA, in America. And I like to talk about life here. I do like to talk about life here. Today I'm passing a different way. Now this wall, if you can see this long wall, up there is a railway. It's a train track there. So so there is no way that the train comes into contact unless there's a crossway and there are so many lights. So up there is it's a railway. It passes through the top of a bridge, and the road is underneath. If you can see here as I come to approach, now that part there, up there is the railway. It goes that way. So today I want to pass through this road here, trying to see if I have the right of way. I think I do. And just to show you, I've never passed this way when I'm going home. So I'm just gonna show you around. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly consider subscribing. I have a cold, guys. It's winter, it's raining, it's cold, and I got a cold. I didn't like get to it because I started taking medication the moment I started feeling bad. But if I wasn't taking medication, I could be very sick. But that's not gonna stop me from doing a video. So this place is kinda, I would say it's the ghetto. It's the ghetto. Like the housing here is very, very different. If you go inwards, you'll find that there's a lot of congestion. There's sometimes it's not very clean, but right now it's raining, you can't tell. But it's still a good place to live. It's not that it's a bad place to live, but there are many neighborhoods here in the US that you can decide to live. Look at the way the roads are just next to the houses are just next to the road. I wouldn't want to live here because I have small kids. I'd be so scared. That's a nice car there. So just showing you around. It's Christmas. Today is Christmas Eve, 24th of December. And I don't know what you're gonna be doing for Christmas. Maybe you can share there and tell me what you have been doing for Christmas. For me, it's just to thank God. It started raining, guys, for what he has done for us and for our family. We just had our Christian become a citizen, and I think I'm gonna talk about that as I go home. That's a high school there. Excuse me. It's called the West High School, that building there with the tall area there, and it's raining, guys. So if you're being my windscreen is cleaning my mirror there, so I hope it's not obstructing you from seeing. So that's a high school there. It's called there's lightning. West High School. And here the high schools or the primary schools are divided into districts. So when you're taking your child to a certain school, that's a bridge there. It doesn't matter where you're taking them, you have to have an address, like you live in that district, so that you can be able to take them to that certain school. So that's how here it's divided. But that's just a by the way. I want to talk about citizenship, becoming a citizen when you have lived in the US. Remember, when you come with a green card, after 5 years, you can go and apply to become a citizen. I do remember we did apply for ours during the COVID season. COVID was just getting finished, because I do remember when we were going to take our oath to become naturalized, we had to go by ourselves because there was still the lockdown and many people weren't going. There's a big sharp curve over here, and I hope that you can still see. So we got ours. So what happens is that the parents, the DV1 and the DV2, regardless of whoever, you go and get your citizenship first, but you do not get it on the same day, because I do remember Francis got his first, and then I went later. So after you get it, the kids that you came with from home, they do not get their citizenship automatically, because I do remember there was a question there that someone was asking, if when you get your citizenship, don't your children become citizens automatically here in America? No, you don't. So after you have applied for your citizenship, and it's not free of charge, you go online, you fill out a form. I think it's N400, and then when you fill out that form, you pay. I do remember at our time we paid $750 for both of us, everybody $750, because it's an individual thing for you to become naturalized. And then you go, they do your fingerprinting because you are an adult, and then when they do your fingerprinting, what they are gonna do, that's another bridge there. What they are gonna do is that they are gonna give you a booklet that has got 100 questions. So that booklet, you're supposed to study it and know all the questions that are in there. So when you know all the questions that are in there, then they will give you a date or an appointment whereby you're going to go and do your citizenship test. So the citizenship test tests whether you know English, because they will have you read a sentence, they will ask you something in English, and then they are going to ask you questions. They are supposed to ask you as many as 10 questions, but if you pass 6 questions, you are good to go. Excuse me. So after you have passed your 6 questions, so this road is 35 miles per hour. You go very slowly. Excuse my coughing, guys. I can feel that cold is coming, but I'm gonna take medicine when I go home. So after you have done your test, they're gonna give you another appointment where you're gonna go and take an oath, and then you're gonna be given the certificate of naturalization. So the certificate of naturalization, when you're given, that is not your passport. They will tell you you can go and apply for your passport at the post office, because it's normally applied in the post office. Of course, they will give you some paperwork, or maybe you can go online and get some paperwork, and then you apply for your passport. So that is that. And then, so after we got ours, we did apply for Eric. Eric still paid $750. I do remember very well. It was just before the COVID, like they opened up for COVID. And since he was 18 years old, he had to go through the same process that we did. He had to go get his fingerprints done. He had to go do the test, and then he went and got his citizenship. So he had to do that. Now, for our Christine, she is 14 years old. And so I did apply for her, and it has changed a little bit because it's $1,200. And so we did to apply, and then we paid that money, and then we waited for the appointment day. So they sent us a letter. Actually, the letter came in, it was on her birthday. So we went on October 17th, and we got, so we went for appointment, and to my surprise, of course, remember, she has to carry her green card. To my surprise, Christine was not fingerprinted. But they told us, because they normally tell you why, they told us that she's still a minor, she's still 14 years old, so they did not take her fingerprints. So after that, they told us to go home and then wait for another appointment. And then we waited for another appointment, and then we just went the other day. I'm gonna just post at the end of this clip. I'm gonna try and post just a little video to show, because I did a video, but this phone of mine is doing me bad things because I don't know where he went. He just disappeared. So when we went in for the ceremony, it's called the ceremony. When we went in for the ceremony, what happened is that they gave their green card. Of course, you have to give back your green card, because when you get your citizenship, they are not gonna have you have the green card again, because they're gonna give you the certificate of naturalization. So when we went before they got their certificate, they had to say to say the Pledge of Allegiance, and they had to do, what do we call it? They had to take the vow. Is it the vow? I can't remember. It's something that they had to do that we had to do. It's like taking the vows, to become a US citizen. So if you are a 14-year-old, you do it. But if you are below 14, your parents are gonna do it for you. So for Christine, because she was 14, and my voice is going away, she was able to do her vows, and then she got her citizenship. So that's the kind of little bit of a difference when you have applied for your kids to be naturalized. So you find that when they're little, they're below 13, they're not going to say no vows, and they're not going to, that is to vow that you have become a US citizen. And they're not going to be fingerprinted. But if they are 14, they have to say I can't remember there's a word that they were using. It's not vows, but it's kind of vows, because you have to lift up your hand and say after them whatever that they want you to say for you to accept to become a US citizen. So that is that. You can decide that. Now, there's some other people who come in with the green card, and they are so scared of getting the citizenship. And they're like, I don't want to lose citizenship for my home country. I don't know what. I do have a friend of mine that we had our citizenship together, and he's from a different country, and he told me that he had to go home and denounce his citizenship in his country so that he could come and become US citizen, because their country doesn't allow dual citizenship. So he had to do that. So it depends on the country that you come in. But this is my take. When you come here with a green card, you'd rather be a US citizen, because after 10 years, if you're not a US citizen and you still wanna have your green card, still you have to go and renew it, and it's still a lot of money. So why not become a citizen? And as soon as you become a citizen, you do not need to keep on renewing after every 5 years, after every 10 years. You don't need to keep on renewing your green card. So that is how I see it. And then another thing, for my children, I might, maybe when I am old and I cannot be able to work and I cannot be able to do so many stuff, maybe I want to go and retire at home. I can do that where my people are. But when I look at my children, it's a little bit different, because I do not see like my children going back to Kenya and going to settle there. Like I don't see that, like it's not going to happen. Their life is here, and this is what they know. So why not have them naturalized? You know what I mean? Become US citizens, and that way they are good. Even if they feel like they want to go back, of which it's a very low percentage that goes back, because you find that there are so many advantages here in the US, like very, very, very many, especially for the young people, and of course even for the young African American kids, and of course the young African American immigrants, especially if they follow the right direction. There are so many scholarships for those children, especially if they are performing very well in school. There is so much. And another thing, you start teaching them responsibility very early, because I do remember my Eric, he did start going to work when he was in 11th, 9th, 10th grade. But he didn't have to go to work a whole day. He only had to go to work for 2 hours, 2-3 hours, and then he would come home in the evening and do his homework, which helps them to excuse me, to become more responsible with their money. It helps them if they have a car to be able to pay their insurance, to be able, if they have a little car payment, they can do that. Although when you're buying those youngsters a car, it's best to buy them a used car that they don't have to make any payments for that. So when you look at that, this country has got a lot of advantages, especially for the young people, because jobs are so many. So they can go get hired in restaurants, get hired in where people go for gaming. Like there's so many areas that they can be hired. And you find that that's a good thing. They start when they are young. And it's always good to guide them so that by the time they finish high school, they can go to college. Because for me, I think the African in me will never go away, because I do believe that college education is good. It is good. And even here in the US, thing that I have noted, that there are some people, they are like, I'm not going to go to school. I'm just going to go get hired in McDonald's or in Wendy's or whatever, because they're going to hire you even if you are in 8th grade. But at the end of the day, those people, when they become older and they look at their bills and the bills are not, it's very hard to meet up with their bills, then they change and they want to go back to school and they have responsibility. So you find that it is good. For me, I love and I pray for my kids to go for a college education. And here, even if, let's assume, like us immigrants, we have not been able to save from when our children were born, like the ones that we brought here. You're not able to save like for them, because here you are supposed to start saving for your little ones when they are born. So it's a little bit different for my two last ones, but the other ones, from the time that they were born, there was that gap. So you find that they can go to school and get grants. They don't necessarily need to get a student loan. They can get grants, because the moment you apply for, when you are a U.S. citizen and you are a U.S. permanent resident, you can apply for a student loan. But when you get the student loan, they normally give you a certain amount of a grant. A grant is money that you are not going to return. That's free money for you to go to college, as long as you're taking several classes, several hours in a class, several credit hours. You get that money, you go to school, and you don't have to return that money back. It's free money from the government. So you find that they can go through that route. There's a lot of sponsorships that are very common. They can even decide they're going to join the military, like Eric joined the military, and he wants to go to college. And when you are in the military and you want to go to college, they normally help you with the tuition fee. So it's a little bit easier. And why I'm telling you all this is that I do not see my children going to live back in Kenya. So why not pay for them to become US citizens? And whatever they decide when they are older, that's on them. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the US ship. It has stopped raining. The US citizenship. And just to let you know now that we don't have to worry about anything about our paperwork or anything. Everybody in our house now is a US citizen. Francis is a US citizen. I am a US citizen. Eric is a US citizen. Christine is a US citizen. And of course, my two youngest ones were born here, so they automatically became US citizens. So I wanted just to shed light on that, and to let you know, this is the process that happens. And of course, you have to remember that when you come in, you have to be in your best behavior, because they do a very, very, very thorough background check, a very thorough one, before they allow you to become a US citizen. Oh gosh, they do a very, 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 very thorough background check. Sometimes they even go and look, ask questions where you're working. They want to look at your criminal background. Have you done anything wrong? So when you are a permanent resident, it's very, 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 very important for you to be, I'll just say that, to be in your best behavior, and do right by yourself, because the moment you become a US citizen, you're good. You don't have to worry about anything. And another thing about advantage of becoming a US citizen is that when you have that US passport, you can go to any country. They are not going to stop you from going, maybe unless Russia. I don't know about Russia, but that's just a hearsay. But you can go to any country and they will let you be admitted there. So I thought that it was good to talk about that. I hope that this video is going to be a little bit helpful to you guys, especially those people who have come in with a green card and you are planning to apply for your citizenship after 5 years, which is a very, 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 very good thing. So guys, I'm almost home, and I just want to go take a shower and eat my breakfast and go to bed because I am very tired. My mind is tired, and I feel like I want to rest. So until next time, guys, I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I wish you all the best. May your cups be filled during Christmas. May your plates be filled. May you celebrate with your friends and your family. You know, that's something that we don't have here in the US. The only family that we have is our nuclear family, which is okay. But I just wish you all the best. Remember, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly consider subscribing. Thank you, and God bless you.